Okay, I guess it's time to go ahead and start the meeting of Perry Township, June 9th, 2020 at 7 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Miss Spinkin, can you call roll? Why does Jason have his mic? Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry, that was a glitch.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I call the Perry Township meeting on June 9th, 2020 at 7 p.m. to order. Miss Spinkin, can you call the meeting to order?
Can you hear me, Missy?
Yep.
Wynn? Trustee Wynn not on?
Do not see her.
Hartshorn?
Here.
For the record, FO Bacon and Zoning Administrator, Office Assistant Karen Kaler are present.
Okay. Okay, and it says on here on our agenda to discuss the consent of the agenda.
I don't hear anything on mine. Can you guys hold on? Karen cannot hear anything, so I'm going to go in her office
Okay.
and see if I can help her. Jason, Missy?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Are we ready?
You can just sit here until it's your turn.
Yeah, that's
fine. Okay, we could not get Karen's to work, so she's in my office with me.
Okay. Okay, so going forward, we want to discuss this consent to the agenda. I know, Jason, you brought that up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's a great idea that we get it done.
I like the idea. If that is something that we can approve tonight, I think it should be in a resolution.
Okay. Jason, do you have any issues or anything?
No, I'm on board with the resolution.
Okay.
As
Okay.
is.
Okay, and let's see. I make a motion, resolution 2069 to approve consent agenda to accept trustee minutes, special minutes, work session minutes, nuisance abatement minutes, and payments of bills.
Second.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Wynn, and then the next resolution will be for, and Jason, correct me here, it'll be resolution 2070, approved minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting, May the 12th. Resolution 2071 to approve minutes from the special meeting, May 27th. Resolution 2072, approved minutes from the special meeting, June the 3rd. Resolution 20-73, approved payment of bills from check number 35220 to check number 35292. This includes payments and vouchers. So this will all be combined in the one resolution 20-70/73.
Okay. I make a resolution that we approve resolution 20.7073, approval minutes 2070, and payment of bills 2071 and 2072, and payment of bills 2073.
I second.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I yesed on the last one. Did you get that? I was nodding. I was still
No.
muted. Okay.
No, I didn't realize you were on. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was still muted, but I was yelling yes and then realized that I had not been unmuted.
Okay. For the fiscal officer reports, the 2020 Ohio State Fair has been canceled. The discovery response was completed by the FO. I reviewed the draft discovery, which was then notarized and submitted to our attorneys. Montgomery County Auditor's Office announced that the request to delay the reappraisal of property values in Montgomery County be completed in 2020 was denied by the Ohio Tax Commissioners last week. So the Montgomery County Auditor's Office will continue to move forward with the completion of this year's reevaluation. Additional information will be provided regarding new property values once the abstract is submitted to the Department of Taxation. We received the Moore grant through OTARMA. $325 was receipted into the general fund for the OTA registration fees, and the remaining amount of $175 for the police fund for the security cameras. The Brookville and New Lebanon Fire and EMS reports for the EMS billing and budget. Has anybody reviewed those reports?
I did.
I did as well.
Do you have anything you want to add to this or
No, it's pretty
state?
straightforward.
No, not really.
Okay, the next thing on my agenda is to discuss the fire and EMS levy for the November 3rd, 2020 ballot. I sent a resolution off to the auditor's office, which was like a sample for the auditor's certificate that we need before we can do the language for the ballot. Last time we discussed this, you had talked about a replacement levy. So that's how I worded it. What are your thoughts? Which directions do you want to go? This will need to be submitted to the Board of Elections probably by the first week in August. We cannot pass the ballot language until we receive the auditor's certificate. So there will be two resolutions, but you need the auditor's certificate in your hand first before you can pass a resolution for the ballot language and have all this submitted down to the Board of Elections in August.
You guys have any questions on that?
I mean, my thoughts are, I'm less than happy about it, but I think the fire departments have put us in a position where we don't really have a choice if we want to continue to get fire and EMS services.
Jason?
I agree. I think we're as far as we can get right now until we have that certification in hand.
Right. Okay.
And I'd like to make clear that this is not a new tax or an additional tax, correct?
There will be additional money from every homeowner, property owner. Currently, our 2.5 mil was voted in 2013. With new homes, buildings, it has decreased that to 2.35 because you cannot bring in more revenue than what the levy was voted on. So this would take it back up to 2.5. So last time I researched, that would be about an additional $15,000. So every homeowner will be paying more based on the value of their property.
And that 15,000 will be split between Brookville and New Lebanon, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what they're asking for is a little bit over 4,000 each. So
If you're wanting an additional levy, that would generate close to $28,000 more at a 0.25.
no, I say we stick with the replacement. And if it doesn't pass, we still have our continuous one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Same.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion then, and then I can send this to get the auditor's certificate?
I make a
Okay.
motion.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I make a motion that we submit to the auditor's office for the language to be able to put this on the ballot by August, the first week of August.
I second.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
and that's all I have. I do have the road department. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Letters were sent to the 5 property owners for license for entry onto real estate for purpose of stored debris removal, release, and indemnification. To date, the township has received 2 of the letters from the property owners. All letters are required to be submitted before legal can proceed with the attorney-client letter to USDA. I've spoke with the road department. They will need to get with the remaining 3 homeowners because they do need to have their paperwork notarized, and we cannot proceed any further with it without their permission. On May 20th, Mr. Kraft, employee Randy Robbins, trustee Mears, and trustee Wynn and I met with representatives from the USDA regarding the Wolf Creek log jam. Where we need to go forward, the township can participate in the cleanup with a 25% in kind or pay the $27,710 and not be involved with the participating in removing any of the lumber or grindings or anything. So I emailed the state auditors for the fund account that the $27,710 could be paid from. Auditor stated this was a question for legal. After review of the Ohio Township Handbook and ORC 5735.27 and ORC 4502.02, the Road and Bridge Fund was the only allowable fund to pay for the Wolf Creek log jam. Due to an OPWC Issue 2 project on Sheep Road for next year, or no, I'm sorry, this year, with an in-kind of $110,000, the road and bridge cannot afford another large expense. So going forward, I'll need a resolution that our road crew will participate with the Wolf Creek log jam with an in-kind contribution of $27,710.
Rhonda, can you remind me, when we were speaking with those guys, was the decision that we would or would not get to keep the lumber and mulch after the project and do with as we pleased?
I think that was still up for discussion.
Okay, yes, and it might depend upon the contractor as well.
I would like us to try to negotiate that in. We're going to do the in-kind and see if we can, at least benefit from that somehow.
That would probably be a lot of lumber and mulch, but maybe we could get a portion of it. So we'll have to question that at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, and if we can find out what the legalities are of selling it for firewood or whatever people want to do with mulch, if we can use that as any gain towards the general fund or the road fund.
Okay. I will need a resolution, though, to participate with the Wolf Creek Log Jam.
I so move. That we do it as an in-kind.
I
Is there a
second.
second? Wynn,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
The OPWC paperwork for Keener Road is due June 13th. The road crew has been working on Keener Road Issue 2 project. Today, I was able to gather all the paperwork. Mike Kraft was able to review it. And I think I have everything typed up to submit to Kramer and Associates tomorrow. If they do not receive it in Columbus by the 13th, which that's on a Saturday, so we need to have it there by the 12th, we will not be receiving any revenue back from our in-kind project for Keener Road. So it is necessary that we get this paperwork to them tomorrow so Kramer can submit to Columbus.
What's been the holdup on that?
Well, remember last fall, they did not finish the project. The
Okay.
weather turned, so they
Right,
pulled
right.
out, and then COVID hit in the spring. So there's been a couple bumps in the road.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, also the road crew has sprayed guardrails and bridges on township roads. They began mowing the roads, the side ditches, catching up due to the rain. Some of the first mowing, when we had that 4.5 inches of rain, they did not get over as far as they usually do just because of all that rain, and they didn't want the tractor and everything to be sucked down into the ditch. So they just mowed the edges, but now I think they're getting over and mowing all of it. Repaired a catch basin on Amity Road and mowing cemeteries and township properties. And that's all for the road department.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, and for everyone's information, we now have a new zoning person. Kate is still with us. She's still training, but our new zoning person is Karen Kaler. And I don't know if you can see a picture of her. If not, stop in the office and meet her. But Kay has her first report. Or Karen, I'm sorry.
Okay, I have on the trash, the third quarter 2020 trash bill will be mailed at the end of June. And in the zoning permit issued was a pool barn, 2 above ground swimming pools, a single family home permit destroyed by the tornado, and then nuisance abatement hearing scheduled June 10th, 2020 at 9:30 for 10055 Little Richmond Road in Brookville. And that's all I have.
Okay, great. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Okay, anything from the police department?
Oh, yes. I've been working on the equitable sharing to resolve a 2015 reporting issue from the ESAC preparer. I've had to pull some reports. We're still working on that. This is for the Law Enforcement Trust Fund. Also to approve Officer Stewart, part-time sergeant at a current pay rate of $17 an hour. So he'll be going from an officer to a sergeant.
So I move that we approve Officer Stewart to a part-time sergeant at a current pay of $17 per hour.
I second.
I'll second. Or whoever.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Okay, and then I guess now we're to our trustees report. really don't have that much this month. I contacted the Montgomery County Health Department again regarding the issue that we're still having. They're still waiting to come out. Received information from Mr. Kraft regarding the Wolf Creek cleanup. Been checking with our new office assistant zoning officer, make sure she's okay. I brought water to the police when they were helping with the protesting. And also I would, on behalf of myself and the other trustees, would like to take a minute and thank Chief Littleton and our officers for going down to the city of Dayton when they were called upon. So thank you all very much. And that's all I got.
Okay. I just want to start by welcoming Karen. I look forward to working with her. I think she's going to be a big asset to the township offices. I'd like to give some kudos to Jason on our website and our Facebook page. If anyone has not noticed, we do have our official Facebook page. This will be the only page that will be sharing information officially on the meetings and upcoming events. We may share it on our individual pages after that, but I just want to remind people that there will only be 3 places mandatory for our information to go. That's going to be the Brookville Star, emails for those who've signed up for it, and posting it on our door. Following those 3 obligatory notifications, it'll go on our Facebook page that is Perry Township, Montgomery County, Ohio. And then I will potentially put some of the information on my page. Jason may do the same, but Jason worked really hard on that, and he deserves kind of a pat on the back because it looks very good. I have heard some concerns recently, in as early as today, even about Governor DeWine wanting to defund law enforcement and that the departments have to meet certain state criteria. And I just want to give my answer to that is that if there's a concern about how our officers have handled anything, I think you can go to myself or Missy or Jason with it, as opposed to putting it on Facebook and asking questions. Chief Littleton does an amazing job of communicating with us, and if I've had any questions or concerns, I flat out ask him, and he's always happy to answer. But as far as my feelings are, I have no intention of ever supporting a disbandment of our police department and bringing in Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. And I just want to make it very clear that I will and always will stand 100% behind our police department. As far as anything else in the township, I haven't really done much more than less than Jason and Missy have been busy. I also took some water to the police department and made some connections for them when they were downtown, and they did a very good job downtown. I'm very proud of them. Other than that, that's pretty much what I've got.
Thank you. Jason?
Good evening. I'd like to echo the sentiments of our other 2 trustees and welcome Karen to our office. It's great to have you. Kate set a high bar, but I'm sure you'll be able to meet and hopefully even succeed or push past that level. But Kate was quite an asset to our offices, and we're sad to see her on her way out. One thing I'd like to bring up, Mindy just reminded me of this, is that we do have to update our resolution that we made earlier in the year about where we will be publicizing meetings and events. We didn't include Facebook at that time because we didn't have a Facebook page. So I'm pretty sure that we have to circle back and update that. Rhonda, you had mentioned that, I think, when we were talking about it initially.
Yes.
Okay. So once I'm done with my report, I don't have the resolution number in front of me, but we need to get that so that we can formally do that in the next meeting. I talked with Doug Kramer at Kramer and Kramer, just touching base with him. I try to do that before our meetings, and I know they've been having their hands full with the Keener Road work, which seems to have gone really well. The residents seem to be really happy on Keener. It may have been, I was told that the lines may have been painted this afternoon or this morning. I don't know. I haven't been down there today. But I also didn't hear back from Mr. Kramer until a couple hours before this meeting. He had told me that basically the ramp plans, they're going to have those to the county by the end of the week. Some drainage issues, I think that Rhonda mentioned that with Keener Road, as well as some other places that Kramer and Kramer supporting, jumped up in priority and kind of knocked that back down a little bit for them to come back around to it. He did say that Double J, who is going to be doing the work on the ramps, is ready to go. So we just need to get through the finalization of the plans this week and have them into the county by the end of the week. He did also mention that the damage that was done by the post office driver has been non-impactful. So the road is good. That was able to be remediated, and it didn't end up doing as much damage as they initially had thought.
Good.
Since our last meeting, I've attended the Washington Township Board of Trustees meeting, the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission TAC and board meetings, the Montgomery County Township Association meeting, Ohio Auditor virtual roundtable with townships, and the German Township Board of Trustees meeting. So the website, to change topics, the website is in development. I basically took some snapshots of it, sent to the trustees so that they could see where we're at. There still needs to be some content flushed in there. So I'm gonna ask that we have a working session sometime between the end of June and the first week of July. Well, that's probably not a good time. Probably the end of June, to go over some of the finer points of how we want to customize the content on the page. Right now, as it stands, our website's going to have 2 pages. One that covers the general township information, and one that covers the cemeteries that we have in the township. And then we link to the state COVID-19 page, the Perry Township Police Department, and a few other pages that have some good content for our residents. The domains have been taken care of and initial email accounts have been created. This will be another topic during the working session that I want to have, just to make sure everybody understands how to connect to the new email that we're going to be rolling out, and make sure that they have the ability to store off emails. The free tier is unlimited, but it does have a 500 megabyte capacity limit, which isn't a problem if you are able to archive off using like Microsoft Office or Microsoft Outlook or similar mail application that just pulls it off the server and stores it. So I'll be working with all of the employees that end up wanting email addresses to make sure that their needs are met and configurations are done, and they're able to use the email here in the next month or so.
Can I ask a question? Did anybody get a hold of AOL? Are we okay there if we quit them?
I have not. We haven't done that yet. We haven't done the resolution yet to cancel that.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that everybody has access. They're using it. Call it a burn-in period. Everything's good, and then we can go ahead and terminate that.
Okay.
And we'll be good. Probably within, I would say, probably by the August meeting, we should be good to pull the trigger on that.
Okay. I just want to make sure that there was no cost or anything against us. Okay.
In addition to the Facebook page, we also have a YouTube page and an Instagram page that are both linked to the Facebook page as well as to the website. we're going to be using YouTube to store meeting recordings. After this meeting, when I convert the recording over, I will be uploading one to the place that I have set aside with Rhonda for file sharing so that she can continue to make physical copies if people need them. They'll also be on YouTube, and that will be linked on the Facebook page as an accessible video. My hope is to be able to drive down the need for so many physical copies of the meetings because they'll be out there on YouTube. We'll still have the capability to do it. I just think that once they're out there available on YouTube, that they won't be such a high demand for people to get physical copies. The Instagram account, there'll be more coming on that. The goal is, I had asked early on, what does Perry Township mean to the residents? And I feel this gives us a way for the residents to show us what Perry Township means to them. They can @ our account, which is PTMCOH, and tag us, and it'll show up on our feed, which is also shareable through Facebook. So that'll just give us the ability to see the township through the residents' eyes and have pictures of our township that we can use for the website or for different kinds of events or announcements that we want to do. It's just a way to link with the residents and see the township through their eyes. The last thing I have is for the 2020 census. As a township, we're doing a great job. Currently, as of June 8th, Perry Township has a 73.6% response rate compared to the state of Ohio, which is at 65.7%. So thank you to all the residents for continuing to respond to the census. It's very important for our township. It defines a lot of our ability to get grants, other monies to help with projects and things that we need to get done for the township. So thank you. And that is all I have.
Jason, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Have we considered adding a Twitter account also to our social media?
We can, yeah. That was something that I had considered, but I wanted to get the website, Facebook, YouTube out first, and we could definitely go through that in the working session around the end of the month.
Okay.
Okay, great job. Okay, so any new business? No new business? Anybody have any old business? Okay,
When we have our next working session, we probably still need to talk about what we're going to do as far as the 200th anniversary, if anything. We haven't decided if we're going to continue with that or tank that idea. So we probably want to discuss that and decide what we want to do.
okay. We can just put that in the work session, so.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and is there any visitors that would like to speak at this time?
If you'd like to speak, please unmute your microphone.
No visitors this evening? Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Second,
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Wynn.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Have a safe evening.